Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Let me turn down the music. It's quite loud, actually. Alrighty then.
Oh, my leg.
My leg.
SpongeBob,
My
I love
leg.
SpongeBob. SpongeBob is great.
No, my leg actually hurts right now. What the hell?
Give me Charlie horse.
Fortunately, this time we'll actually be on Streamlabs because I fucking my computer stopped being a piece of shit. I guess. Yay me.
I'm very disappointed my phone notification didn't go off right as she said my leg. I would have found that very entertaining.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Okay then. Game faces, people. Remember, dark, drab, depressing, and gothic.
Well, let me take a last bite of this fucking ice cream
Alright.
brownie really quick. Then.
Hell yeah. Ice cream
Masters.
brownie! Ooh!
Damn.
Green, dark, depressing ice cream brownie.
Is there weed in it?
Let me get psyched up for this. I hate myself.
So is it dark chocolate?
It is actually.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. You love to see it.
I'm going to die at
I've got my
35.
eyeliner right now. My eyeliner, my eyeshadow, I'm ready to be
Did
gone.
you just say you're going to die at 35?
Oh no, I'm gonna outlive
No,
AC.
I said, I'm prepping for 1800s Victorian era, so I'm like, I'm gonna die at 35. I'm gonna die at 35. I'm gonna get the plague.
Alright, welcome back, Masters. Let's get into it. That was
Yeah.
a little too cockney. Anyways, we'll figure it out.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
God,
We're gonna bust it down sexual style,
A
ain't it?
Tuesday in
Alright.
it, Gov.
We gotta
Okay.
shut the game down.
Fuck,
Hey,
I'll have some more.
score some
Clap,
fucking
clap,
goals.
clap.
We never go
Christ.
Cockney ever again.
Bang bang goes the gavel. That's
Alright.
enough, folks.
I mean, you
Okay.
still gotta turn it like on the gameplay on this Twitch stream.
Wow, look
I
what
thought it
I'm
was
about.
on.
Look what I'm
It is
about to
not.
do.
I'm still
right.
staring
at the
very,
camera
very
right now.
movement.
I'm just saying, like, that's the con, since we kind of take that as we're starting.
Okay. Now then, let's get a little bit serious now, shall we? Alright. Your hand in hers, the maid guides you back through the kitchen and into the tea room. Her palms were still cold. You felt as though you were clenching ice.
Master, do you wish to know the truth no matter what may be hidden within? Or, if it's something you would be happier not knowing, would you rather remain in the dark? Oh, is that so? I wonder about their father. Yes, the flaxen-haired sibling's father. Do you think he knew about the white-haired girl? If he did, then perhaps he allowed her to stay because of how deeply he loved his wife. Or maybe because he did not want people to find out about her. I expect he too experienced many different emotions. But those pages of his story remain untold. Their parents likely had a turbulent tale as well, but theirs is not of consequence. To whom? I could not tell you.
You and the maid crossed the entrance hall, continuing your trek. At some point, the fire in the fireplace had faded to embers, emphasizing the lack of light within the mansion. The maid took a candlestick and lit it in the cinders. The small flame illuminated her pale face. On a whim, you asked the maid about herself.
About me. I am a maid devoted to your service, master, as I have said. Oh, what was that? You are interested in my name. You flatter me. I truly do appreciate the question, but you are more than welcome to simply call me the maid. Also, it would make me much happier to hear you say my name after you recall who you are, master.
A subtle smile rose to the maid's face, after which she began to lead you down a first-floor corridor. Still holding the maid's hand, you passed in front of a full-length mirror. In it is reflected the warm light of the candle, which disappeared out of range shortly thereafter.
Oh my, is something the matter? Did you come across something peculiar?
The maid had not appeared in the mirror, though she was not the only one without a reflection. You reached the end of the corridor. There appeared to be a doorway, but the door itself was long since gone, leaving only a hole in the wall to frame the stairs behind it. Without hesitation, the maid descended into the darkness.
You have more interest in this mansion, Master, than in a mere maid, do you not? Though it pains me to say as much as your presence, Master, this house is cursed. Yes, it is a curse that runs deep. As you just bore witness to, the majority of those who dwell within these walls fall into misfortune. I have served here for many years, and periods of happiness are as fleeting as a sugar cube in a cup of hot tea. Why did such tragedies befall them? If I were to guess, Master, it was because you had not returned. But when you remember your true self, the mansion's curse should be broken. The next door is before us.
It appeared to be the entrance to a cellar. The disconsolate wooden door was visibly rotten in several places, and it seemed it might crumble at a single touch. You could hear the sound of something devouring meat beyond the door. Maybe there was a beast living within there. Before you had a chance to say you thought it was dangerous, the maid opened the door with a chilling smile on her face. Your first impression was that it smelled of blood.
The mansion sat in ruins in that era, not a soul resided within. The grandeur of the house was lost to the ages. It was in a perpetual decline. Not a flower grew in the garden, dust and dirt blackened the plaster, cobwebs blanketed the corridors, ivy shrouded the outer walls. It was not a pleasant sight. As hard as I tried to fight it, I could not stop the mansion's descent into disrepair. The depths of the previous owner's grief, or perhaps despair, was far too much. After the beautiful flaxen-haired family, people stayed away from the mansion. They had no heirs, so their bloodline simply vanished into the depths of history. It had been about 50 years since the house last had a resident. The forlorn property appeared as though it had been abandoned for centuries, and the occasional villager who would stumble upon it did not remain there for more than a day. My time there was rather solitary. That was perhaps the loneliest time of my life. Everyone who visited the mansion feared it, and it was left without anyone to become its master. Even I came to believe that my time serving as a maid would come to an end in this era. However, one day, I did notice something out of the ordinary. As a servant of the house, I am almost immediately aware of any new presence within its walls. And there appeared to be someone downstairs. Can you imagine just how delighted I was? Though part of me was anxious about what kind of person I might find, the possibility that it could be you had my heart aflutter. So, Resisting the urge to rush, I headed for the basement. In the cellar was where red wine, smoked meat, and other preserved foods were kept. And by that point, the wine was practically antique. As I had expected, a man made his way into the cellar. Is anyone there? Although I'm unsure if referring to him as a man is entirely accurate. Oh my, this is quite something. The very first thing I sensed was an almost unbearable stench. The odor emanated from the man, heightened by the food he had carelessly rummaged through. Blood-red liquid spilled from the wine barrel, soaking the floor. His sunken eyes had a piercing, wolf-like glimmer in them. His teeth were sharp and yellowed, visible as he ripped into a chunk of meat. He grumbled in a seemingly inhuman tongue. I was looking at a beast. Or perhaps a half-beast. There was another source of odor in the room, though. It had something of a kind of metallic tinge to it, and when I noticed this, I nearly passed out. The red liquid was not just wine, as I had assumed. The beast had, I presume, stolen a weapon from the village. A sword far too nice for him to lay on the floor by his side. I could hardly imagine how many people's lives he had taken with that blade. It was visibly wet with blood, even in the darkness of the cellar, but at the same time it had an imposing gleam. The fine, luscious aroma of the wine could not mask the stench of the blood and beast. Holding my breath, I took a few moments to ponder. And ponder what? Oh, master, you know. Tell me, were you summoned here by the mansion? Did you come here knowing what kind of place it is? If you are in want of money, you are welcome to help yourself to some of the furniture. And I imagine the villagers would be willing to welcome you if you dressed yourself up a bit more like a person. Then you can trade the furniture for food and make your way to a larger town. The wolf was able to fool the innocent little girl simply by putting on clothing, after all. Oh dear, I was afraid you wouldn't understand me. What am I to do? I was in quite the predicament. Nevertheless, it meant a great deal to me that I found someone who did not fear the mansion, be they human or beast. So I decided I should give him my assistance, while doing my best not to agitate him. Say, could you, perchance, be my new master? The mansion sat near the ocean. To say it was perched upon a cliff might make it sound rather intimidating, which you could see the beautifully clear sea through the windows, a glittering expanse of emerald and turquoise. If the mansion had been in proper condition, it would have been breathtaking against that backdrop. Even I wanted to plant orange trees in the garden. Though it was a tumultuous era, the sun still shone bright upon the land, which only served to emphasize the house's unsightliness. Oh, yes, perhaps I should give you some more background information. At that period in time, a war had just drawn to a close. The once gorgeous wetlands were infested with crows picking at decaying remains. Bodies of soldiers fallen in battle continually washed up upon the shores of coastal villages. The people wanted nothing more than the curtain to draw on that deeply political contest. And when it finally did, the kingdom, with its richly fertile shores, was stripped of its independence, beginning a new era under new rule. The people were exhausted, their spirits wasted away. And the splendor of the ocean and sky did nothing to help. In my mind, the beast was emblematic of the times, emaciated and enveloped in the scent of blood. But the war came to an end. Thus, the beast did not have to remain a beast, I thought. Did he? And so, I endeavored to make the beast more human-like. First, I needed to do something about his appearance. I would draw a bath, scrub away the filth, and dress him in clothing left in the mansion. However, having sat unused for 50 years, the majority of garments had been devoured by insects and were of little use. So I searched the mansion top to bottom for anything the beast could wear, heated up some coals, and set to work ironing what I found. At the time, steam irons had not yet been invented. We used plates of iron heated with coals. They somewhat resembled kettles. I even prepared meals for the beast in order to teach him proper table manners. Although, with the mansion in a nearly uninhabitable state of disarray, there was only so much I could do in the kitchen. And the only supplies I had to work with were what was left in the cellar. As such, I was not able to use the cooking skills I had learned in the flaxen-haired family's time. Now. You mustn't eat with your hands. Do you want to get your fingers and face dirty? You eat using a knife and fork. See, like this. I feel like I am teaching a young child. Oh my, what are you holding your head for? Oh dear. Perhaps I should be teaching you to speak before table manners. Worry not, we have plenty of time. You needn't act so frightened. Or perhaps you do not want to be understood at all. Would you be so kind as to tell me your name? You are, for now, still a guest. It is too soon for me to call you master. Or am I mistaken? Your name, that is what people call you. How about I start by telling you my name? I am called... Bestia. Your name is Bestia? I see. Then that is what I shall call you, Bestia. My, you seem rather perplexed as to how I was still alive. He had, in fact, attempted to cause me harm, however. I am a servant of the house. And the beast called himself Bestia. It's a curious thing. When I learned his name, he seemed to take on a new importance in my mind. He was not a mere beast, but a thing called Bestia. Master, should I ever have the chance to hear your name, I'm certain you too shall become more substantial a presence. But you must always remember, Master, that even if you do not remember your name, and even if you never know mine, you have always held a special place in my heart. And thus began my tranquil days with Bestia. Slowly, he began to learn the human tongue. And I was, to be quite honest, rather thrilled. To be certain, I was afraid of the beast. But my fear was not so strong as my elation that there was someone else in the mansion, someone whom I could speak, and someone that might become my master. Come now, you must pull the weeds out at the root, or they will soon grow back. This is a task that requires perseverance. You do it like this, see? There you go.
Gross.
Oh, did you not expect that? What actually appears to be many plants on the surface is actually all connected within the soil. This is a task that requires a man's strength. If there were other servants, they could do it. So I apologize for making you tend to the gardens, future master. Or perhaps, now that you're all dressed up, do you wish to leave the mansion and find someone to fool, as the wolf did the sweet little girl? Have you no interest in remaining in such a disheveled house? Go on.
Not want leave.
Oh my, is that so? If you wish to stay, then I shall not stop you. On the contrary, I will gladly attend to you. I am waiting for the person who is to become my master. Forever waiting. I should be able to watch over you until the day you depart this world, old and wrinkled. Do you not believe me? Are you interested in becoming the master of this house?
Will be.
I have to wonder if you know what you're saying. Although it matters little whether you do or not. Oh my, look at that. Now this brings back memories. This is called a rose. Do you know what a rose is? It's a type of flower.
Not. No. Do not. No.
I see. Then allow me to teach you. What you have here is not a real rose. A real rose is wilted and are sleeping in the soil. This is called an accessory. It's something women wear. The beast held an ornamental white rose in his hands. An object someone, sometime, meant to give to someone else. Curiously, the white rose was just as stunning as it had been the day it was made, despite being buried in the earth for so many years. I hear roses make wonderful gifts. He stared intently at the decorative rose. I had presumed the beast would either discard it disinterestedly or destroy it. But much to my surprise, Bestia held it gently in his hands, as though it was something precious to him. Are you, perchance, considering giving it to me? So you are not. Very well. Is there someone else you'd like to give it to? In that moment, a thought floated through my mind. The thing I had found in a pool of blood in the cellar was a monstrous creature indeed, but perhaps that was not, at his core, what he truly was. So I asked him a question. What is it that you desire, Bestia? This mansion fulfills people's desires. If you yearn for something,
Want. Live. Peace.
Look at that filthy thing.
A beast! It's a beast!
It's in the goddamn sand! Are you really that hungry?
Beast,
Okay, you.
you foul creature.
Back.
Get any closer?
Filthy beast.
And I'll kill you!
That's you, Bob.
several days passed by. As Bestia began to act more like a person, the mansion followed suit, slowly becoming more habitable, though not yet back to its former glory. No flowers grew in the garden, but neither were there weeds infesting it. The dusty corridor, shadowed windows, rust-covered kitchen gradually returned to their proper states. Bestia learned how to change his own clothes and how to draw a bath. No longer did I have to wait on him hand and foot. He could take care of a number of things all by himself. What we lacked for food, he acquired from the forest. Never did he go to purchase supplies from the village. Rather, he captured hares and gathered herbs hidden within the overgrowth. There were days without incident. And though such a life may want for excitement, peace is something you mustn't take for granted. Those who have it cast it aside, finding the leisurely flow of time dull. Only those who have never experienced it truly know how precious it is. Bestia appeared to be content. He wore an expression of solitary serenity.
Someone! Anyone there?
And then one day, a cracked form from in the uneventful tranquility.
Is anyone in there? Could you part with some food? I don't need much. Some food and water. Just a little, that's all I need.
Bestia looked over at me as if seeking my aid. Ironic, no? It was the visitor who was truly in need of aid. I pondered for a few moments, deciding that I could simply not turn away someone calling upon the mansion. Had Bestia ordered me not to let him in, I would have followed his instructions, but he said nothing.
Oh, thank God. Someone's here. I was afraid it was deserted.
You said you were in need of some sustenance.
Yes. It doesn't have to be much. Anything to quench his thirst. I got lost and it's been several days.
Give me a few minutes and I will find.
Let him in.
A firm, deep voice came from behind me. I was quite startled. When had the beast learned to act so much like a human? When had he learned to speak so clearly and to behave so much like a master?
Ah.
Upon seeing Bestia, a look of terror appeared to cross the wanderer's face for a moment. To my eyes, Bestia was the very image of a head of the house, but to an outsider, he probably appeared to be nothing more than a beast in man's clothing.
Prepare him a meal and a bed. I suspect he is quite tired.
Thank you, very much.
But in time, the fear drained from the man's face. Bestia sat precariously on the border between man and beast. Though he still had its doubts, the wanderer revisited his first impression, deciding Bestia was human. As the wolf had fooled the little girl in the forest, he too had succeeded in playing the role of a man.
I thought I was gone there for a while there, but you really came to the rescue. And a meal like this on top of that? You really didn't have to. Though I guess that's not an appropriate thing to say as I'm eating. What kind of meat is this? It's damn tender for a rabbit. And I thought it was beef. You have quite the skilled chef. Oh, is she the one who cooked this? Is she your wife?
Oh no, I'm merely a servant.
A female servant, huh? Don't see that very often. This mansion's just full of surprises. I can hardly believe it. Lost for days, and as soon as I think I'm dead, there it is. Thinking back on it now, it's miraculous. Why are you two living alone in a house on a cliff? Oh, I beg your pardon. Asking so many questions without telling you about myself. My apologies, just a little too excited to finally see other people. I'm a merchant. I do international trade. Until a few years back, spice exports pretty much all came from one place. Now that we've established trade routes of our own, my country is fighting tooth and nail to push its exports. In fact, some have lost a few teeth in the fight already. But that's just how it works. It's a cutthroat world. You do what you must to survive.
And that's just how it works, the merchant said, a sorrowful look on his face. He was clearly putting on a show, though. Confidence in himself and his homeland radiated from that man.
I came to this land to do business. But much to my chagrin, I ended up lost in the forest. Had I wandered for much longer, I'd have lost the chance to ever see my beloved again.
Your beloved.
Yes, sir. I'm constantly on a business, so we only get to see each other a few times a year. But she always waits for my return. I'd like to introduce you to her if I ever got the chance. She's a pretty girl, if not especially striking.
Is that so?
The merchant was a man of many words, and I, for one, do not mind a lively supper table. And though I know not how Bestia felt, at the very least I was glad we had invited the wanderer into the mansion. He was, after all, holding a proper conversation with someone, and he seemed to be having a success concealing his piercing beast-like gaze. However...
Oh, right. I stopped by the village before entering the forest, and I heard a bone-chilling tale here.
As soon as the merchant brought up the subject, a palpable tension spread through the room.
They say there have been sightings of a beast. It's a creature unlike anything anyone's seen before. Not a wolf or a bear or anything like that. It even attacked the village once, killing several people. Thankfully, the men managed to drive it out. But the creature is still alive. There's nothing in this world scarier than a vicious beast. So you should keep an eye out. Wouldn't want to accidentally let a murderous beast into your home. At the village's insistence, I had the smithy forge me a knife.
Is that knife
Huh?
with you now?
Yeah, I've got it on me. Only good to defend myself with, but it's better than...
That knife. You brought that knife. You're here to kill me with that knife!
Well, what?
You're going to stab me again and again with that knife, like they did last time! That's why you're here, isn't it?
Well, what? Well, what are you talking about? What's gotten into you?
Stab and stab and stab.
Calm down. What are you so worried about? I'm not gonna hurt you with this. What did you just say? Ah!
I'd like to imagine that before the wolf ate the poor little girl, he said, "Is this what I always looked like?"
That beast.
Oh, what's your problem? Oh, what's wrong? To talk like a human.
Is me.
Stop, stay back. Get any closer, I'll stab you to death.
You act like you only just realized I'm a beast.
Ah.
That's right! I'm a beast! I kill them,
Stay back!
and I'll do the same to you!
Help!
In his hand, Bestia held his sword. Perhaps it had been hidden underneath the table, or maybe behind his chair. Regardless, it was as though he had expected this to happen. The merchant kicked aside a chair, attempting to flee, but Bestia closed the distance in an instant, knocking him back. He lost his balance and slammed against the wall, but he still made it to escape, though the beast stood blocking his path.
No! Please, please stop this! Don't kill me! My beloved is waiting for me back home! I can't leave her behind!
And why should I care?
Ah!
A dreadful scream echoed through the dining room. I reflexively covered my ears.
Please help! Someone! Help! Anyone!
No one's going to come for you. This mansion's a long way from town.
Help! That woman, where did she... Why isn't she here? She was just...
You'll kill me if I don't kill you. And so, I must show you that I will. I must show you that I'm serious. I must kill you, or you won't understand. You just won't understand. If I don't show you firsthand, you won't understand. I'll make you understand. I'll make your flesh and bones understand. Kill. I'll kill you. I'll kill you! Kill you!
Monster.
That's right. I am a beast.
And they had been enjoying a peaceful meal around the table together just minutes earlier. So what had triggered this? If I were to guess, the merchant saying the word knife is what caused the beast to snap. A simple, small thing set him off. I could not comprehend it. Bestia, who had said he had wished for peace, was staring down at the ravaged corpse of the merchant, with a look of ecstasy on his face. Master, can you understand how he felt? Even just a little? Did he not yearn for peace, but for slaughter?
Alright, that does it for today's shopping. And at the moment we've all been waiting for. Snack time! There's nothing better than having a ham sandwich in the park. Oh dear, maybe I should lower my voice when I'm talking to myself. But it's so nice out, I just can't help myself. Does the weather have anything to do with talking to oneself? Not important. Food, food. If she were here, it would taste even better. I wonder when I'll get to see him next.
Pauline! There you are.
Oh dear, what got you so frazzled, Mom?
Oh, Pauline.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Did something happen? What's the matter, Mom? Mom?
Pauline.
This isn't like you, Mom. It's not like you at all. Tell me what happened.
I told you to stay away from men who trade.
Huh?
Oh, Pauline, my dear daughter. Why must God be so cruel to a sweet girl?
You're hurting me, Mom. Don't squeeze so tight. What's gotten into you?
Listen carefully, Pauline. You must be calm and hear me out, understood? Your lover, the beloved man you wait for, is dead. The beast's humanity began slipping away from him after that encounter. He had returned to the thing I had found in the cellar. Actually, he prowled the mansion's hall looking more barbaric than ever. Despite all the effort he had put into learning to act like a human, he now ripped the velvet curtains off the walls, howling shrilly, stomping back and forth through the hallways and ravaging the garden. I watched him intently, though from a distance. Bestia was not merely a beast, but an out-of-control bloodthirsty beast. Just a few days ago, we had been tending the garden together, but that was no longer possible. I was quite disappointed. Eventually, Bestia discovered my hiding place. I had not felt regret in a very long time, but I felt deep regrets in that moment.
More? I don't have enough. Not enough. I need more. I need more. I must satisfy these urges.
Are you saying peace was not enough to sate you? Did I mishear you when you asked for peace?
I was mistaken. Asking for peace won't solve anything. Blood, despair, eyes filled with terror. These are the things I need. And I've always known it. You said this mansion fulfills people's desires. Then... give me prey. No more heirs. Live humans.
Why did I ever teach him to speak human language? Before long, the mansion granted his wish. Once a week, a villager or a traveling merchant from somewhere would wander into the forest, ending up at the mansion on the cliff. Though something felt suspicious about the man who greeted them at the door, on the surface he looked like a proper nobleman. So they all eventually chose to trust Bestia. The mansion had an air of loneliness about it, but it was adequate to provide rest for their weary feet. There was food and a bed, and most comforting of all, there were other people. The lord of the house treated the lost souls like esteemed guests. He poured them fine wine and had me cook for them. No one had suspected in the slightest that he was a beast. He put on a reasonably convincing act. Because, yes, I had taught him how to behave like a master. The visitors all went to bed contented. But, as I'm sure you can imagine, Master, they would never see the light of day again. The penetratingly bright sunlight particular to this area.
A beast! It's a beast!
Disgusting creature!
You hideous monster!
Kill him!
If that's how you humans want to do things, then I'll play your little game. I'll play it even better than you. I'll kill you. I'll slaughter you! That's it. Cry for me. Beg for your life. Pray for my mercy. Weep and struggle and suffer and die. No one understands. No one can possibly understand my despair. Whatever did I do? Was it just because I'm a beast? When did I become a beast? Why do beasts have to die? Beasts are savage, and so they must die. I'm a beast, therefore I'm savage. In which case, I'll kill them. I'll show them what makes a beast so terrifying!
Moonlight crept through the torn velvet curtains, shining down upon the blood-soaked beast. It was a sight that would incite terror in anyone.
Look at this. No one can stand up to me. Humans have no chance against beasts! More! I need more! Give me more prey!
The mansion continued to sate the beast's demented cravings, sending not one but multiple villagers into his claws. Into these blood-stained walls, off with which echoed his monstrous howls.
Stop! Please! I'm begging you! Spare me! Oh God!
Sorry. I'm not familiar with your god. Beasts have no need of gods!
Yeah, it's a wife and...
Shit.
I have,
Have
a
a
wife
wife.
and... Okay, so you...
I have a wife and son back at the village. Please let me return to them.
Why don't you bring them back to me? I'll send them to the same place you're going!
I am a child. Please let me go.
Are you now? In that case, I'll kill the baby first!
Monster.
That's right! I'm a monster! And by killing, no one can defy me! I had to show the world that beasts are the most frightening things on Earth!
The beast began to change his style, making sick banquets out of his kills. Some days he would tie his guests up in the cellar, playing with them for hours until they finally died. Some days he would drain them of their blood and bathe in it. Some days he would spread them out on the table and feast upon them. Every week another atrocious party. He did everything imaginable. As a faithful servant of this house, I'm confident I can do most anything I'm asked. Though you can surely imagine my surprise at having to use the cooking skills I learned while serving the Flaxenhead family to do that. I can only wonder if it actually tasted any good. Bestia's peculiar sword was always with him for his twisted banquets of self-gratification. However much blood stained it, it never lost its sheen. It was as though the sword drank the flesh of humans. Master, can you imagine just how wretched I felt? The mansion, once a beautiful sight to behold, reeked of death and acrimony. The stench of rotting flesh seeped up from the cellar. Even the years it spent forsaken and in ruins were preferable to that. Or perhaps I only have myself to blame. It was I who invited the beast into the mansion.
More. Not enough. This isn't enough to satisfy me.
But Bestia still sought to hold more of his perverse parties. Lost villages were no longer enough to quell his urges. He was, indeed, a genuine beast. And in time, this is what he began to wish for.
Can't you give me any better prey? Something truly exquisite. The perfect prey to quench this maddening thirst of mine.
Do you know what he meant when he asked for the perfect prey, Master? Perhaps a hero, someone courageous enough to stand up to him, with whom he can enjoy a battle to the death. And perhaps a dazzling young nymph to satisfy his other primal urges. Or perhaps what he wanted was not human at all, but a demon or a phantom. I would soon find out, as the mansion attempted to grant his wish, bringing yet another guest to the house on the cliff. If the devil guides us, if God guides us, then perhaps I could accept that this was fate. Then it makes sense that I am here. Is anyone there? I've lost my way. Would you be please so kind as to spare me a little food?
There it is. There comes the poor little offering. They never learn. They just keep coming again and again. The mansion keeps granting my wish. I would be glad to provide you some food. And you are welcome to stay the night. Get some rest. I will have a room prepared.
Then I suppose I shall take you up on your generosity. I've been wandering for a very, very long time. What was that, Master? You recognize her? I imagine you would. That white hair, those red eyes, the skin the color of freshly fallen snow, and that flawlessly beautiful visage. You could not possibly mistake her for anyone else. And no, it is not someone who happens to resemble her. I can understand why you'd be surprised, Master. At first I could hardly believe my own eyes. The wanderer knocking on the door that day was the very same fair-skinned young woman who visited the mansion so many years earlier. The white-haired girl must have spent many, many a night in the forest. Her crystalline skin was covered in red scratches from where she had brushed against stray branches and tree bark. She had even lost her shoes and was standing there barefooted, looking quite disheartened. But that did not make her any less beautiful. In fact, you could just imagine the dense forest canopy parting to allow the sun to shine down upon her. The beast appeared surprised by her angelic beauty as well, as though all the madness drained from him in that very moment. He said nothing, but his eyes told all. He was entranced by the sight of her ruby red irises and her pure white hair. Pardon?
I am the beast. This is what I ask for. Something to quench my thirst. You're allowed to be happy.
But as I said, it was only for a moment.
So rejoice! Imagine just how gratifying it will be to such a beautiful woman, writhing in the throes of her death. Follow me. I will have a bath drawn as well.
And once the moment had passed, the beast was barely able to contain the wellspring of madness within himself. He wanted nothing more than to run his sword through the white-haired girl that very instant, to torture her, to defile her. He tended to her wounds, served her supper, and drew a bath for her. And afterwards, the beast even made to provide her with a dress to wear. Even the outfit she had only worn for only one night, so many years before was there, waiting for someone to put it on again, for her to put it on again. He said she could choose anything she liked. She, being such a modest young woman, said she needed not of such fine attire. And what a shame that was. I too wish to see her in a dress once more. I need not such fine clothing.
You needn't be modest.
No, that's not why.
Are they not to your liking, then?
No, my apologies. You are very generous.
Foolish girl. Smiling and calling me generous. I was simply imagining what a pretty sight it would be. The sight of her fresh blood splattered on it. The sight of her life slipping away in it.
I'm glad that, after wandering for so long, I ended up here in this mansion.
In a few hours, you'll be feeling the exact opposite. Get all the rest you need. I shall see you again in the morning.
I thank you. Bestia then made his way out of the girl's bedchamber. His mask came crumbling off after only taking a few steps.
There! That's precisely what I wanted! Just imagining how such a beautiful woman will scream. How she'll beg for her life. Hey, are you there? The mansion has given me the perfect offering. Hey, is she not here?
Is someone there? Yes, I came by to ask if there was anything you needed. I could not offer you anything extravagant, not like before, but I'm here to provide you with anything within my capacity. I appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. Being allowed to stay the night is more than enough. Do you work here in the mansion? Yes, indeed I do. I've been here for a very, very long time. A very long time. You might think this an odd question, but have we met before? Something about you seems familiar. And I get the feeling I've been in this mansion before. Yes, we have met. It was quite some time ago, though. When was it? It was an unimaginably long time ago. Do you remember a boy and girl with flaxen hair? Flaxen hair. I apologize. My memory fails me. Do you not remember me either? I see. You should probably not push yourself to remember then. There were joyous times and there were less than joyous times. But would you be so kind as to answer one question? What might your name be? My name is... I see. So you are... again. You should get some rest. I will make tea for you in the morning. Also, go on, close your eyes. But Bestia never waited for morning to come. With a sword that smelled of blood hanging from his hip, the beast slowly, ever so slowly, crept towards the room where the white-haired girl slept. The time was soon approaching for the bloodthirsty beast to paint the walls within the young with the young woman's blood, to turn her bedchamber into a gore-splattered altar upon which she would offer her to the devil. However, when he opened the door, the beast could hardly believe his eyes. She was not asleep, but sitting there as if expecting Bestia's arrival.
Why are you awake? Did you not go to sleep?
I heard footsteps, so I...
And what were you planning to do when I got here? Surely you didn't think we'd simply have a nice midnight chat.
I was hoping to ask what it was that you wanted.
To ask what it was I wanted? Do you even realize what you're saying? Can you not see what is in my hand? You know exactly what I came here to do. Aren't you going to beg? Aren't you going to plead for your life? Aren't you going to ask me not to kill you?
If it's necessary. But is that what you want?
What I want is something much, much more gratifying than your pleas. I want to hold a banquet. It's not enough. No matter what I do, it's not enough. But you will be enough to satisfy me, to quench this unholy thirst, to completely, wholly fill me to the bursting point. You want to know what I desire? I desire to devour you!
Bestia shoved the girl back, slamming her into the mattress. He then stabbed his sword through the sheets beside her, looking down upon the girl, the moonlight at his back. Clenching her slender throat with one hand, he drew his sword once more, holding the tip but inches from her nose. No matter how much blood it drank, the sword continued to shine gloriously, as though it had come from the forge.
It was an awe-inspiring, tear-shedding blade, the sight of which would cause anyone to imagine the misfortune about to befall them.
Go on, mock me! Ridicule the hideous, barbaric beast standing before you! From the moment you saw me, you thought me unsettling, no? But you averted your eyes. Because I had food for you. Because I gave you a place to rest. You pretended not to notice the beast. This is retribution. Retribution for you damned humans. So beg for your life like they all do. Cry! Plead for mercy!
If you say that you are ugly, then I must be equally ugly.
What?
What came from the girl's mouth was neither a plea nor an insult nor a scream. Full-grown men had wept before him, and yet this slight young woman did not. Despite this terrifying beast upon her, moments away from extinguishing her life. Even I almost shrieked in fright. Bestia could believe neither his eyes nor his ears.
Do you not fear me? Can you not see what I'm about to do to you?
What am I to be afraid of?
I'm threatening to murder you! To rip your intestines out with these claws and watch you die in agony! I enjoy it more than anything in the world! Filling others' hearts with fear. The more lives I take, the more I enjoy it! I'm a beast, driven by madness!
What he expected was for the beautiful girl before him to desperately implore him for mercy. He wanted nothing more than to see despair seep into every corner of her red eyes. For he believed that would truly be a sublime moment, euphoria unlike anything he had experienced before. Bestia prodded her with his singular sword, poking a slit in skin smoother than silk. You see me as pitiful, and so you're offering me a release from my fate. But she did not do as the beast wished. She looked up at him with sympathy rather than fear. This rattled the beast. He had never once seen anyone respond to him that way.
What on earth are you talking about? What is going through your head? Pity? Release? Do you not comprehend this situation? How can you be so calm? Scream! Cry and shout! Beg for me to spare you! Throw yourself at my feet! Throw yourself at my feet! Otherwise, well, I'm a beast! A beast that never tires of killing!
To me, you appear to be a person.
You're lying.
You listen to the things I say, and you respond with your own words.
I was taught how to speak. I'm a beast who speaks human language.
But you think. You use your mind to come up with responses. And you hesitate.
If I'm human, then why do they disparage me so? Why do they reject me and try to kill me? Because I'm a beast! A repulsive beast! That's why, isn't it?
I will do nothing to hurt you. We are alike.
Alike? Don't be ridiculous. How can you say you're alike? We are alike when you're as beautiful as you are.
There's nothing beautiful about me. What value does outward appearance have? You've suffered much persecution, which is why you tremble in fear.
I'm not trembling. I'm not afraid.
I can hear the cries of your heart.
What on earth is wrong with you? Why are you not afraid? Why do you not scream in terror?
I am afraid, but more than fear. I feel like I know what my role is.
Your role?
If you will have me, then I would like to remain here in the mansion.
Are you mad? I will eventually kill you, torture you, put you through hell, make you wish you were never born.
That does not change my mind. Please, allow me to stay. I find it very hard to believe what you want deep down is to hurt people. And I get the feeling that I'm meant to be here. That is my role.
Yeah.
Bastia was at a loss. He was, perhaps, afraid of this girl who did not fear him, and even attempted to embrace him. She behaved too differently from all the other humans he knew of, who only ever harassed and pushed him away.
Why are you so kind to me? To this beast? This murderer?
Bastia's sword slipped from his hand, hitting the hard floor with a metallic whine. When the sound died down, the white-haired girl extended her hands for the beast with utmost affability. Listen, it's just the third time's a charm, Master, I'm sorry. Her fingers were as white as freshly fallen snow, something this area never saw. And they traced his distinctive frame. They ran along his unusually shaped nose. They slid across his rough yellowed skin. They drifted around his rather small eyes. The beast trembled once more, this time not out of a twisted desire from deep within, but from the unimaginable comfort of physical contact. Her fingers moved so gently, so pleasantly, wrapping him in their warmth. Are you crying? A single teardrop slid down the arc of her finger. Looking into her clear eyes, Bestia came to a realization. And at the same time, he felt somewhat dismayed.
You are without sight.
Taking in the throes of his primal urges, the beast had not noticed, but there was an emptiness in the girl's eyes. She had appeared to be gazing far into the distance, not focused on the man despite being close enough to touch him. Tears had begun running down Bestia's cheek earlier when she had called him a person. But it was not until one of those droplets had slid across the back of her finger that she had realized. She would indeed have no need of extravagant dresses. After all, she could not see what she was wearing. That is correct. I am blind. But whoever decided that reality is only that which can be seen, I know not what appearance I have. In the darkness, everything is as one. There's no difference between beast and man. If you are a beast, then I too must be a beast. And to call the girl a beast would be a paramount of eating sugar and insisting it was salt. Do pardon the trite analogy, please. But you know rather well, Master, that the white-haired girl was not at all what you would call a beast. Not simply in appearance, but all the way down to her core, there was nothing beastly about her. Her words brought him faint pain, but the beast still felt, on some level, that he wanted to keep her at his side, to see what would happen. His next words were in large part impulsive.
I am grateful that you cannot see.
Without exception, everyone who had wandered into the mansion had lost their lives before the sun rose the next morning. She was the first visitor who had not met this fate. Over time, Vestia's madness gradually subsided. He even began to seem rather tame. You would hardly believe it was the same beast who had once reveled in those perverse festivities. He was, I imagine, at a loss for how to behave. I too would be flustered in the constant presence of such beauty. But it was not just her appearance. She had said she wished to live with him, a beast who had committed countless atrocities. Perplexing indeed. What is the matter?
Do you honestly not fear me?
Do I appear to be afraid of you?
No, you do not. But you would. If you could see me, you would react the same as everyone else. You would mock me. You would mock me. You would kill me. You don't know what I've done, because you cannot see. I enjoyed it. I basked in their terror. So why do I not want you to find out? I don't want you to know how many people I've tortured, how many I've slaughtered, how much blood I've imbibed, all the horrible things I've done. Horrible? I'm aware that what I've done, I'm aware that what I've done is wrong, but I relished in it. I wanted for so long to slaughter them. I desperately desired to see blood, human blood. What is it I crave? Murder or laughter? I said that I had no need for peace. Yet here I am.
Is something the matter?
No. Some tea.
Oh, shall I make some? Are you thirsty?
No. I made some tea. It's probably cold by now. I thought you might want some. You don't.
No, I'll take it.
What are you laughing for?
Because I'm happy.
Is it to your liking?
It's bitter. Their life together began quietly, their days without event. They had no extravagant meals, there were no swaths of guests lending life to the mansion's halls, but there was no one screaming in fear for their life. It was a peaceful life Bestia had lost. And he had returned once more to that quiet realm. What's the matter?
You are always so quick to notice my presence.
My world is one of darkness, so I have a heightened sense of hearing.
What is it like? How do you perceive the world? I cannot imagine living in complete darkness.
Occasionally, I can see light.
Light?
Yes, not a radiant light like the sun, but a soft light floating in the darkness. Like a candlelight, I suppose.
That only perplexes me all the more. I find it difficult to describe what you are describing.
Is that so? It's difficult for me as well. I'm not sure how to explain it. But it's not complete darkness. I can sense your presence, for instance. I can tell how windy it is from the way the windows vibrate. And also, I also feel as though I can sense the wavering of emotions. The candlelight begins to flicker erratically. From fear, intense sorrow, or other similar emotions.
My emotions.
I do not know. It could be yours, and it could be mine. This mansion is a very peculiar place. The candlelight is always wavering, and yet it seems somehow stable. It makes me feel as though this is where I belong.
I don't think I understand. I am a beast, and so I lack the intelligence.
But you...
I am going to go hunting. Is there anything you would like?
Whatever you like. Alright then, if you find any fruit, that would be nice.
Fruit.
It's sour. You picked it before it was ripe.
I didn't know. Is that a bad thing? I don't know anything.
I cannot see, but if fruit is still green, you're not supposed to eat it yet. What color are these?
Green. No, blue.
Shall I give you a hand preparing supper?
I cannot ask for help of someone who can't see. You'll hurt yourself.
Don't worry, I can tell for the most part where things are by touch and sound. Are you worried?
Worried. Thought of blood dripping down her finger doesn't excite me. What's going on? What on earth has happened to me?
If I appear to be in any danger of harming myself, please let me know. Then you'll have nothing to worry about. You do not seem any more comfortable in the kitchen than me.
She always cooks the... Where did she go?
Huh?
She always comes when I call.
I had hidden myself away. Bestia had learned how to go about his daily life without my assistance, and the two of them had no need of others in their peaceful world. Oh my, what is the matter, Master? I was not lonely at all, no. It was an absolute pleasure simply watching them. I mean that. It was not my role to be at his side, nor was I the one to be at hers. If she could make Bestia into the master of the house, then my presence was unnecessary. I appear when I am needed, as I appear to serve the flaxen-haired family. Nothing more. If they sought a servant, then I would show myself. Yes, certainly. After some time, they began to sleep in the same bed. Oh dear, no. Not for the reasons you are imagining, Master. You thought no such thing. Though they slept in the same bed, they did not lay together. They did so, it seemed, because they were more comfortable in the same place. The two acted more like family than lovers.
Hey. Hello. Are you asleep?
No, I'm awake.
Is this candlelight wavering?
Right now, it is very calm.
I see. Say, tell me about your childhood.
What? Me?
Won't you?
My childhood.
Yes. I have no such stories to tell. When I was a child, I lost everything. My mother, fathers, brothers, everyone. So
For as long as I can remember, I did not have a father. I lived alone with my mother, but I never felt like that was a bad thing.
was she kind?
Yes, very. She was a compassionate woman. But we were poor, and because I could not see, my mother was the only one who could work. She would be away for long stretches of time, supposedly because she served at a respectable house. I do not know whether or not that was true. Perhaps she was doing much more demanding work. I never asked. I believe not asking was best for her. From time to time, I would receive letters from her. Someone who lived nearby read them to me. The letters went something like this. Life in the mansion is difficult, but everyone treats me so well, and they say I do good work. I'll be back with more money soon, so you be a good girl. Other than that, she allegedly expressed concern for my health and safety, as well as repeatedly saying how much she loved me.
You have a good mother.
I did. Nearly everything I remember my mother saying to me was written in her letters. So much kindness and warmth.
Why do you not live with her now? How did you end up here in this mansion?
And before long, she lost her life at her place of employment. I was sent the money she had earned. It was I imagine enough to survive on. And when my mother was alive, she often lamented my blindness. If only you could see, she would say, I could show you just how extraordinary this world is. So I decided I would visit a renowned physician in order to fulfill my mother's dream. A physician in this country. However, upon examining me, he said that he could not restore my sight. Dejected, I was on my way back home when bandits attacked. They robbed me of the money I had brought to pay for my treatment. I lost everything my mother saved for me, the money she gave her life to earn for me. I failed to repay her for anything she did, which cast a dark cloud over my heart. My world has always been wrapped in darkness, but at that moment, I was in the deepest abyss, and there was not even a speck of light. I was at a complete loss. With nowhere to go, I simply wandered, no destination in mind. And that's when I miraculously arrived at this mansion. It was as if it was sorry. It was as if it was summoned me here.
You were being summoned by the mansion to fulfill my craving. But it didn't end up that way. I wonder if the mansion is disappointed. I see.
I apologize for not having a brighter tale to tell. I imagine you were hoping to hear joyful childhood memories?
No. Did they hurt you?
Pardon?
The bandits. When they attacked, were you hurt?
You're so compassionate.
I am no such thing. I am not compassionate.
I was perfectly fine. I took a few scratches, but nothing you need to worry about.
I see.
I believe that I'm happy now. I was unable to regain my sight, and I haven't the money to return home. But I believe I left in order to come here. Is your life right now happy?
I am terrified. I'm volatile. I'm growing accustomed to this woman's comfort. I'm afraid of losing her. A beast should not have these feelings. A murderous beast. Take this.
What is...
It makes a good gift, supposedly. I was planning to throw it out when I learned that, but I couldn't. I feel like I was meant to give it to someone. That could only be you. It is a fake white rose.
a white rose accessory?
Do you not want it?
No, I do. I just, for some reason... Never mind. Thank you, I appreciate it. Do you not desire more prey? But you were so hungry for blood before.
I've had enough. I don't need any more. Although she is blind. No, because she cannot see, she does not push me away. She's the only one willing to accept me. To be with me.
Such a fickle creature. You obtain peace, cast it aside, then pick it up once more. But you'll never be able to escape it completely. After all, you are enchanted by the pleasure murder brings. You have been for a very, very long time.
This time I'm done. I won't kill anyone anymore. Being with her is far more satisfying than the joy killing brought me. To be with her is what I truly want.
So very self-centered.
You certainly are. Hey.
It was as though he was viewing a flashback. The sound of knocking echoed through the mansion, as it had the day the merchant came and brought the beast's short-lived peace crashing down.
What did I just tell you? I do not want any more prey! Stop this. Stop it. Don't bring me any more. I thought you were supposed to fulfill my desires. Why did the door open?
Sword in hand, Bestia ran through the mansion's halls. He was overcome with fear. He had obtained the peace he so dearly wanted, and even found someone who did not fear him. He was terrified that the appearance of more prey would cause all this to crumble. If he had spotted the prey, murdered them, and conceded to his madness, she might choose to leave him. As much as she claimed he was not hideous, if she witnessed him doing that...
Oh, just chase them out. I'm done with this. My desire has changed.
However...
Why? Why?
Bestia shuddered in terror at the sight.
Stay back! Stay away from me!
He broke into a run. It was not, after all, helpless prey that had entered the mansion.
That thing is...
The monster's voice seemed to slither along the floors behind him. He felt as though, if he were to turn around, it would be right there on top of him.
Why are you chasing me?
Bestia shouted with fear in his voice, uncharacteristic of the beast who had so readily slaughtered his prey. But can you blame him?
That's... a bestia!
In that moment, I had an epiphany. I had assumed he had called himself Bestia, unaware of what the word meant.
A bestia other than me?
Bestia is not, in fact, the name. It is a word that means beast. Indeed, a second beast had come to the mansion.
Why are you chasing me? Are you here to kill me? Is it because I settled down? Because I wanted to stop being a beast? Ah!
Is something the matter? When the white-haired girl poked her head out of a bedchamber, Bestia was aghast. He frantically attempted to return her to her room.
You mustn't leave your room!
But as he was doing this, the horrifying creature, no, the beast's voice drew nearer.
Do not open this door for any reason! I will protect you. That's right. That's right. I don't want this peace destroyed. These tranquil days together with this woman, I will protect them. I will!
Trembling in fear, Bestia gathered his resolve. He pointed his sword, which until then had only been used to torment others, at the second beast. Now he would wield his blade to protect the person he cared about. This was the same beast who had killed and killed and killed to satisfy his own primal desires.
I will not let you destroy this! I will protect it from you!
From a rational point of view, things he was saying and feeling were rather idealistic, but Bestia was desperate.
Apologies, the maid is having a slight issue.
Sorry, no, for real, like,
Maybe
It's weird because you, like...
switched or something?
Oh my god, did it switch? Hold up, sorry. Sting?
You sound fine now.
You sound better, yeah.
That's better?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that fixed it.
Jesus Christ, okay. He did not want to lose this piece. Before long, the beast, the one chasing him, appeared from within the darkness. Say, Master, if resolve was the only thing necessary for one to act courageously, would that not mean nearly anyone could become a hero? Bestia had viciously slaughtered so many people before. He had gathered the courage to protect the thing he cared for. But now he was shaking. He did not gallantly put the sword down upon the approaching beast. Instead, he trembled visibly from head to toe. He must have been quite terrified at the beast's appearance.
Stop! No! Stay away from me! Don't! Stay back!
Seeing Bestia so scared, I imagine that the beast thought it were a prime opportunity, for it slowly, ever so slowly, ambled towards him.
If I don't kill it, it will kill me. I have to kill it. I have to kill it. I have to kill it. I have to kill it.
And that was the moment Bestia's mind ran off the rails of sanity.
Kill. 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 Kill.
He lifted his sword up above his head, facing the approaching beast. And ferociously, swung it down upon his assailant. Again and again and again. Screaming horrifically at the top of his lungs. He continued swinging and swinging until the other beast had gone completely still. Before long, copious volumes of fresh blood stained the corridor. At some point, the other beast had stopped moving and sunken into a pool of its own lifeblood.
I did it. I did it. I killed it. I killed the other bestia.
Bestia had let his guard down, assuming he had claimed victory over the unmoving beast. I had not imagined either that the beast could still be alive after shedding so much blood.
Stay back. Stay back.
The beast reached its hand towards Bestia. It was determined to drag him down to the underworld, it seemed. Slowly sliding along the slippery floor, it dragged itself towards him. Even on its last breaths, it continued reaching for Bestia, fixated on him. He kicked the beast's hand up in the air, staggering it, and then he...
Burn in hell!
Rammed his blade down into it. Bestia's fear-stricken expression was hardly that of a knight who had just saved the maiden. Nevertheless, he had indeed eradicated the other beast. Whew, Mike fighting for its life last seconds.
Oh. Is this where we should stop then? Or like, this is a good... No.
Yeah. There's some discussion time.
Yeah, sure. I like the dichotomy of me having to fucking go... I'm just like, hi.
How's your throat, orange?
It's better. I got used to it after a while. I'm probably gonna wake up... Probably gonna wake up tomorrow fucking like growling like a feral ghoul going...
He's gonna be full Kinzo by tomorrow.
Oh god.
I'm just imagining Orange practicing that part and he's just making sounds in his
Oh, I didn't practice at all. I just fucking...
I know, but I like to imagine
Went for it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to imagine him just making weird monster sounds and gagging sounds.
I will say originally I was just going to do the Kinzo voice for Bestia, but then I figured, nah, he's a little bit deeper than that. I should probably...
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Monster.
Die, monster. You don't belong in this world.
It was not by my hand that I was given form.
I unfortunately do not know the rest, so I cannot say
what
it.
is the Castlevania line? Do that voice with the Dracula line.
What is a man?
What is a man? Nothing but a miserable pile of secrets! But enough talk! Have at you!
Amazing, amazing.
And I'm sure your parents are not worried at all by you screaming about
Oh
killing.
yeah.
And being a beast.
Hi, it's me. I'm Beast. I love murdering people. It's great.
How unoriginal. How unoriginal. I'm a beast. I'm a call myself
Yes.
bestia.
Our dear son, Orange Boy, are you having particularly bad thoughts recently?
No.
No, I'm just imagining your parents walking in the door after hearing that.
Ooh. All
I'm
right.
just
Well,
gonna
that was
start
fun.
making those TikToks where he transforms into a wolf at the end of that.
Often accompanied
God.
by like butt rock.
But yes, I've been waiting for a character to have my Joker moment with, so I'm glad it was this one.
You were desperate to not have anime boy.
I don't want to do this voice anymore. Ah!
You decided on your own to give it to the UK protagonist. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
like to
yeah.
ask Rindy something also.
Yes.
Why is he hot to you?
Let's
I
go,
know.
murder fuckers.
Yeah,
Unite.
something about something. The
His
primal
red-
bestial thing. I don't fucking know.
Listen,
He has something called moral depravity, and that seems to be an attractor for people like
listen,
Randy and
listen,
Pete.
listen, listen. His red flags are big, but his sword is bigger.
Beautiful, amazing. Before we start talking about murder fucking, which we can continue talking about murder fucking, let's get into these thoughts.
So who's gonna go first? What's the
Mr.
order?
No-
Alphabetical?
We're gonna go. We're gonna go
Man
from.
Man 2 is down there. Sorry, AC, gonna have to wait.
that the Discord organizes us by alphabet.
Yeah.
Not really, actually. I have people to find my name.
I thought you meant that we had to figure
Let's
out who goes first.
get this bitch moving. Award-winning Noir Iblis, go.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you meant the other way. Okay.
Are we doing reverse alphabetical, or are we gonna do regular alphabetical?
Nor go.
I thought you meant
Nor go.
I'm sure getting vibes that either that creature was like definitely a representation of him trying to kill his own past and erase the monster inside of him, or that was definitely the white-haired girl and he is just too far gone. I still have no idea what the deal is with the maid, if she's a ghost or a house or some kind of witch or something, but she's certainly... There's rules to whatever it is she's doing, and I don't know if she knows them, or... Well, and we certainly don't know them yet. There's a lot of carryover from the first door in what certainly has to be ideas of criminality, who's to blame for these sorts of things, culpability I suppose would be a good way to put it. I look forward to what's happening next, and who's coming on back now. But that's no, you're good.
Pretty good, pretty good. Interesting. Shrimp-resting. Next, Bone Man.
Alright, also before I do bring this up, just for anybody that might have some thoughts regarding a theory I might have, I would recommend that you check in live made of the live gen chat that we have for the last thing I said. There was something implied at the beginning, unless I misunderstood, that it seems like the master should know what the mate's name is. The mute guy that we are, the mute audience. I'm very curious about that because apparently, like, there's something about him forgetting stuff. So theoretically, the maid does have a name. I don't know. I think that's an interesting thought, though. We still don't know the deal with the mutilation and crucifixion stuff brought up at the beginning. So,
well, to be fair, this beast has mutilated a lot of people, it sounds like.
Yeah, but he hasn't crucified anybody. I'm going to assume, this is probably obvious, that he decided to call himself Beastia because of just people calling him Beast. it's probably an obvious thing, but I don't know, or I could just be wrong. What was the next thing? It is possible that this white-haired girl is the daughter of the first white-haired girl. Like, it isn't inherently supernatural. I am very curious how this will turn horribly tragic, because I feel like this is going to get horribly tragic. I feel like I might cry. Yes, and I'm going to assume that this is probably just either just a like a mentally ill man, or he is a deformed mentally ill man. But I think it's possible that he is not actually physically deformed. But he very likely murdered those people, and that's probably why they call him Beast. Like, I think it even said so. Not in the house, but like before we reached the house. Those are my thoughts.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Joshia Joshington.
Pretty much Bone just said some similar things to what I thought. First off, the white-haired girl's reappearance, very plausible that she is just a. I wouldn't probably say like she's the daughter. I would probably say a descendant, maybe great granddaughter or something like that. I was thinking like, oh, and she had a feeling that she had met the maid before and was in the house mansion before, right? So like I thought maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's just instinct or something like that, or maybe the maid just gives off a very imposing presence when she's around. But I don't think the white haired girl is the same exact one as the one we saw in the previous one. As for the beast, I had when running in first introduced to him, I had thought that perhaps he was maybe disfigured in a way to the point where people had shunned him in a way, so that's why he considers himself a beast. He probably has a very this feels very much like it's in his perspective, perhaps, or some kind of weird like the fucked up mentality of people who judge people by their looks or don't understand like a person, I guess is the lack of a better term I'm trying to say. So I think he's a little bit more humanoid, or not humanoid. He's not like a werewolf or some shit. He's probably just a normal looking guy. Well, a semi normal looking guy with some probably maybe a scar from maybe the war they brought up in the previous thing, but maybe those just I'll also acknowledge that's possibly a setting dress or whatever you want to call it, whatever the fuck it's called.
Set dressing?
Yeah, set dressing. As in terms of right now, I don't know if it is the white-haired girl right there, but there's a sneaking part of me that's kind of like maybe it's someone else. I don't think it's the white-haired girl. Also, additionally, if I may say, holy shit, did the intro of this go to a 10?
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly climb down. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
Nice.
Before we go to the next don't worry, this will be quick. Clinical Obsession is saying the original art for the stream is really good. Who's the artist for that art?
Yes, that's right. So the new art that I've just put up here, and I'm sorry, it's like dead ass just fucking covering up the chat at the moment. Hold on a second. So the new art that we got for this time around, and it will be on the next announcement thing. It was hidden very carefully in the new one, the most recent one, is so we have Rindy as Pauline. Once again by Azumi-kun. Again, thank you very much, and thank you to B for getting all the art and all that fun business.
Damn.
And then Lunar Moz for the white-haired girl part 2.
Also, whenever you put B's art up on there, it jump scared me because it just appeared out of just super close to the face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. The energy on the left is like Peace's original sprite next to like the evolved sprite in the sub screen.
Very fun. At any rate, keeping it going, I believe who's up next?
Reboot.
Oh, yeah, it's right here. I have to undeafen Roboot because his mic was on during the fucking during the two bestia scene.
What are you talking about? He was never undeafened.
No, he was for a little bit.
He was never deafened.
Oh,
You mean
I
muted?
got it myself.
No, I mean there was a little bit where I could hear you talking, so I didn't want to yell turn off your mic right now in the middle of the
that was
stream,
weird.
so I just muted you for a little bit.
Apologies.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyways, what's your thoughts? What do you think?
Me?
Yes, you.
Think.
Yarmo.
You
I
have
have
the
a
speaking stick.
Anyways, I have a feeling this is gonna become. Actually, no, I think I've heard this tale before, where like a blind girl meets a guy who's like outwardly ugly, but then it turns out that he's like not so bad on the inside or something. Like he's like, oh, I'm so hideous, I'm gonna fuck everything. No, I'm gonna kill everything. I hate everything, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not mean Beauty and the Beast?
It's literally.
Is Belle blind? I never read or watched
No,
it.
she explicitly was not. But for some reason, I recall a tale where that was similar to Beauty and the Beast, except
Oh.
the girl was explicitly blind.
Wait a minute.
Noir, do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's Red Dragon.
Red Dragon.
What?
The first Hannibal novel.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the
Hannibal.
tooth fairy in the book is a man who has like a cleft palate or something, and he's also a serial killer, and he does totally fall in love with a blind woman, and is almost able to like put that past himself until he, stops being able to put that past himself and almost murders a blind lady.
Could have sworn I could have sworn this was from a fairy tale because I've never watched I never read Red Dragon.
I also feel like I've heard this before.
Yeah, but yeah, those are my thoughts, pretty much.
Okay.
Actually, no, I do have one more thought.
Sure.
Like, I don't think you can just be like a crazed murderer and revel in people's agony, and then just to turn around and say, "No, I don't. I met this girl now."
Actually,
you can't just do that. You have
Actually,
to atone, man.
Actually, that's a real thing that actually happened. I'm not
Crimson,
gonna-
we're letting Roboot say his thing, and then we'll move
Crimson,
on to the next
please, you're like
person.
at the bottom of the list.
Shit.
Hey,
Roboot really just said know your fucking
Settle
place.
Settle
Holy
down.
shit.
Settle down. Settle down.
They also did this in Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah,
I think that's the one that I saw. I think that's the one that I saw. I'm not sure. I knew it was some kind of classic literature, in a sense. But yeah, that's it. Like I don't think Bestia will be able to make it out of this alive, or at least the same person he was before.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Basically, go off, bestie.
All right, Mr. Denton.
I have some thoughts. Yeah, this one places, but I have like a couple theories about who Creature was as opposed to Bestia. And I had 3 thoughts. The third one was an idea given to me by Noir, which was, it's the blind woman. The other one was also the whole, probably manifestation of his insanity and all that. The third one was kind of a crackpot, and I heavily doubt if it's gonna be true. But the third theory is that the creature is Pauline, and that vengeance has driven her like so mad that she has become a beast in similar nature to Bestia, and that is why that you can also not see their appearance. And that was my third theory. Another thing I want to mention is I don't know what's going on with the maid and her like not aging and shit, but they don't look natural. They just don't.
It
The beast
Now-
looks demonic in nature.
Now,
Just-
granted,
I just don't think
Bestia
it's
doesn't
natural.
look natural either. But I think that Bestia's appearance is more of like an artistic expression. I feel like it might be more literal with the maid.
Hmm.
But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Resident other murder fucker Rindy, to you.
Huh. Well, so okay, okay. So first of all, I also think that like, if he was really like a traditional like beast, I think it's very odd for him to be using a sword, and I think it's more like he would have used like claws or stuff like that. So I do think there's some like, there's still like a thing of like, is it actually supernatural or is it like or just our perception of it and how we see it and stuff like that. And in that regard, I also think it might be Pauline that again also twisted by vengeance and turned into that and sort of thing into quote unquote beast too. If not, I definitely gonna see her in the future. um, as for the water girl, I'm also wondering if she's like an offspring of because the maid did seem to like recognize her like, oh, you're going by that name again and stuff like that. So I'm curious if it's some sort of meta narrative sort of thing. I don't fucking know. Um, other than that, that's pretty much it, I think. Not much. I
Okay.
really like this sardine Pauline clothes.
Hmm.
I like the Nelly one. I fucking love this one.
Nice. Oh yeah, you changed to it. Nice.
Nice.
Alrighty then, Sim. What are your thoughts thus far?
I'm mostly just wondering what the through line is. Because right now it's like there's the house, the maid, the white haired girl, and like Noir pointed out, there's a lot of thematic carryover, but plot wise, there's not a whole lot of connective tissue.
Hmm.
So I'm mostly just wondering what the overarching plot is going to be, or even if there's going to be one. This is just like ends up being like an anthology sort of thing
Hmm.
with some connective elements or some shared elements.
Okay.
Other than that, sorry.
No, you
Other
go.
than
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like I'm not sure it matters whether or not it's supernatural. Like if it's that kind of story, like in the end, it could be supernatural. It could not be supernatural. That's not the point.
I think you guys are letting Umineko cloud your judgment a little too much.
Oh,
Yeah,
whose
like
choice is that?
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I don't think it's actually important whether or not it's supernatural or not.
Fair enough. Alrighty then. And Crimson, do you have any extra words for us?
Oh, I do. Oh, I kind of believe Beastie might be the manifestation of either he is actual some type of spiritual like dark void creature, or the leftover remains of a soldier after that particular war that mentioned. You know, like the psychological trauma, the fact that he can use a sword. Like he's like the leftover remains of a veteran, basically out and about, just basically killing people because of his post traumatic stress syndrome. Also, I think that the white hair girl might be a reincarnation of the first girl from the first store. That she's just in another person's body in a certain sense, but has a similar spirit that just carries over for different generations. You know, like she's basically the same spirit, but inside a different person. You know, like with different elements. In this case, she was blind, but in the previous one, she was albino. And
Oh,
I do kind of believe that the maid is just some type of spirit of the house that represented as a maid.
Can I ask for a
Because
clarification?
fair enough.
Because I'm kind of confused by something you said.
What?
But you said that like now she's blind, but before she was albino. Is she not albino right now?
We're not gonna worry about the albino shit.
Wait,
Ah!
No, but she still is. Like,
Orange, I think you fundamentally misunderstood what I'm asking.
What?
Because Crimson said that before she was blind, before she was albino, but now she's blind. Does that not imply that? What do you mean by that, Crimson? Is she still not albino right now?
She could be, but I'm not just saying different elements. Like before, that she was not originally blind, but now she is in this particular version of herself. You know, reincarnation.
Okay, it's just how you
Yes, but the
said it.
albinism.
Okay, it's how you said it. It made it seem like you were saying she was no longer albino.
No, that was not the main point. I'm
So-
just saying the main point is that different variations of her will have different, you know, paths and different stories because she's the same spirit but different, you know, lives that she went through.
So it's additive. It's not a replacement.
Yeah.
I see.
Imagine she just keeps coming back with more and more issues.
Also, I do
Can
have
like
another
a pig
thought,
leg
but
next
I'm not.
next door.
I do have another thought, but I'm not sure if Crimson is done.
Okay. Overall, it's just 3 characters and 2 secondary characters that got horribly killed and just briefly mentioned. What was up with their character sprites being there though?
Oh yeah, the merchant had a sprite.
Yeah, we saw.
He didn't have a sprite. He had
did.
he like
He
showed
had
up
a
in a CG. He didn't
No,
have
he had a sprite. He had a sprite for like 3 seconds when he showed up when he entered the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he did.
Mhm.
Oh, I missed
He
it.
did.
He looked like that guy from the Lorax, the evil guy.
And
You're
big,
saying
yeah,
he looks like
he
the
had a
one
bit
for-
of a similar haircut. He did not look like
I
that.
must have
Let me
missed
describe
it.
Yeah, it disappeared in a flash. No, not that guy, the other one. The actual like narrative evil
The
guy.
actual narrative one is just a guy. Oh, you mean that guy?
You know the other evil guy.
You know, I
I
think,
know
I
what he's
think,
talking about.
you know, I think he's a bit of a one-slur, if I do say
Oh
so.
no! Shut up! Do not call Bestia the one
It's a
slur.
bit of a.
Oh, the
bit of a
merchant.
one-slur.
Oh, the merchant. My
Well, he
mistake.
does live in a big building all by himself and bemoan his fate. He's pretty one
How
slurry.
bad can I be?
Shut up! Oh my god.
Really quickly,
Probably
but
like
before
this room.
before addition errant thoughts, I don't normally do this. Clinical obsession. I figured out which of my followers you are because I saw you posting about the maid mouse pad you mentioned. 1, it looks very good. 2, I'm incredibly fond of the 5-foot tall maid standee that you made. That's very good.
wow.
Ooh, a 5-foot. Oh!
Can I see
Hey.
this?
Is this a joke?
Yeah.
No, it's just a man.
No, see, look,
It's
there,
a-
wow.
deadass, there it is.
Damn.
Damn, that's handmade.
Ooh, that's
shit.
cute.
What in the goddamn?
Good shit.
Oh
Oh,
wow,
you
it's
just
very
get
sweet.
these
Holy
printed like
shit.
a place,
I
yeah.
like
spread-
I like the massive
How do you think that
Sudoku
one
book
guy-
at the base.
I think that one guy who did Rafa did that thing.
Handmade.
So I guess I'll get out my next thought. So I had I forgot to bring up prior. I still don't know what to deal with how the maid is still around though, because my thought is maybe that it's the daughter of WHG, white-haired girl. I don't know about the maid, and my other thought is it possible WHG is the master at the beginning? Like whenever we go to the one that's mute right now. Is it possible that's WHG?
Could be, but we're not for sure.
No other thoughts for anybody else?
We don't know.
I
For
mean,
sure.
I'm asking the people that don't know, like if they have.
No.
Yeah, the
The maid's
people who
hair
know already
sprayed, the
know.
sprite didn't show how
Nice to
big
meet you,
and
man.
longer hair
Or
is.
woman. We don't know for sure.
For sure.
Orange, speaking of it, I fucking love what you said in the live general chat. What hair girl?
Oh yeah, that was a follow up to the what hair
hair
girl with a
girl?
question mark. Yeah.
Yes. You have to keep that thing going.
Mhm. Oh jeez.
Any closing thoughts? Are we good?
I think
Let's
we're
go.
good to wrap
I
things
got my
up.
thoughts.
Good because I know for a fact that B said more than 30 minutes ago that they were tired and that they want to go to bed. So we're gonna grant B the sweet release of death.
Maybe you will be lucky and have a horrible sleep paralysis demon come at her and throw.
I don't think that's lucky.
What?
No,
I mean, if it's Bestia, maybe.
If it's the way Bestia treated the white-haired girl.
So are we going to the other chat or what? I don't want to hear this anymore.
A sexy sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Don't leave me alone with them.
You just won't say anything about her.
Wow. Says, please don't leave me.
I'm sorry.
Robo, you have no place to talk. You
All right.
people.
You two are both equally weird.
Nah.
Porno mag.
But good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye bye.